Chances are you've heard the story of the baby monkey with two mothers. One made of wire, with a bottle of milk. The other made of soft cloth, offering only comfort. It's one of the most famous experiments in psychology, and it seems kind of heartwarming, right? But what if I told you the very same scientist behind this discovery also built machines designed for pure, unending despair? Welcome to Veiled Histories.
So picture this. On one side, you've got this cold, wire-frame mother. Sure, it has the milk, the thing that keeps you alive. But on the other side is a soft, terry cloth mother. Nothing but warmth and something to cling to. For the baby monkeys, it wasn't even a choice. They clung to that cloth mother for dear life, only running over to the wire mom for a quick bite before scrambling right back to that safe, warm embrace. And this proves something that was, at the time, absolutely revolutionary. Love isn't just a nice little bonus you get when your hunger is satisfied. No, it's a fundamental, biological need. This idea made the psychologist Harry Harlow famous. He became known as the man who discovered the nature of love. But here's the thing, that's not where this story ends, not even close.
Because that same scientist, the one who taught us about comfort, would later dedicate himself to building instruments of misery. This is a story of what happened after the wire mother. You see, Harlow got it in his head that to understand depression, he first had to create it. And that set him on a pretty dark path. He started designing what he himself called evil mothers. These were surrogate mothers that would literally turn on the babies. I mean, one of them would blast the infant with a jet of compressed air. Another one had hidden spikes that would pop out and jab the poor thing when it came in for a hug. But here's the thing. The baby monkeys were scared, for sure, but they always went back. The trauma just wasn't sticking. So Harlow realized he needed something much more powerful. He had to induce a deeper, more permanent kind of psychological damage. And to do that, he unleashed his most famous and most horrifying creation. The official name was the vertical chamber apparatus, but it quickly earned a much more fitting nickname, the Pit of Despair. It was basically a stainless steel trough with sloped sides, designed to be inescapable. A monkey put inside could see nothing but the steep walls and a small patch of sky far, far above. And this wasn't some random design. It was chillingly specific. Harlow himself admitted it. He said that since depressed people talk about being sunk in a well of loneliness, he decided to, build an instrument that would literally do that. He built the metaphor. The results? After just 30 days of total, absolute isolation, the monkeys were destroyed. They would mutilate themselves. They'd refuse to eat, a condition he called emotional anorexia. Mostly, they would just huddle in a corner, rocking back and forth, staring blankly into space. The damage was profound, and for many of them, it was permanent. I know this is incredibly hard to hear about, but these are the kinds of stories, the complicated, hidden histories behind major scientific breakthroughs that we feel have to be told. If you believe uncovering these veiled histories is important, please take a second to hit that like button and subscribe. It genuinely helps us continue to bring these stories into the light. It's the question that just hangs over all of this, isn't it? How could the man who scientifically proved the power of love then turn around and design a machine for pure misery? Well, as it turns out, the answer was deeply, deeply personal. It was hidden in Harlow's own private agony. Right in the middle of all this research, Harlow himself just collapsed. He was hit with a depression so severe that he had to be hospitalized. We only know now, from recently revealed notes, that he was fighting the very same illness he was inflicting on the monkeys in his lab. He actually wrote about his own suffering from inside the hospital. You can feel the sheer desperation in his words. His own mental torment, as he called it, fueled this almost manic obsession to find a cure, and it drove his research into even darker territory. This personal crisis was a massive turning point. He'd perfected a method for breaking a mind. So now the question became, could he fix it? Could the damage be reversed? This led him to his final and maybe his most surprising set of experiments, an attempt at what was essentially psychotherapy for monkeys. So he took the monkeys that had been broken by the pit and tried something radical. He introduced them to younger, healthy, normal monkeys he actually called his therapists. And the process was just remarkable. At first, the little therapist monkey would just go up to the completely catatonic, unresponsive monkey and cling to it. It made the first move. And then, over a few weeks, a miracle started to happen. The depressed monkey would start to cling back. That physical contact, that simple act of holding on, was the first step.
And eventually, the two of them would actually start to play. He was literally bringing them back from the brink with companionship. It worked. Against all odds, the therapy actually worked. The rehabilitation was a success. So Harlow hadn't just proven that the absence of love could destroy a mind. He'd now proven that the presence of it, of connection, of comfort, could actually begin to heal one. So we're left with this incredibly messy legacy. On one hand, Harlow gave us this profound insight that love isn't just a feeling, it's a biological need as critical as food or water. But the cost, my God, the cost was the unspeakable suffering of these animals. It's no surprise that this work really helped ignite the modern animal rights movement. Harlow, for his part, defended his methods right up to the end. His argument was basically that the knowledge gained to help suffering human children far outweighed the suffering of a few monkeys. For him, the ethical math was pretty straightforward.
For the rest of us, though, it's just not that simple. The debate around Harlow's legacy forces us to ask a really uncomfortable question about the limits of science. What is the true price of knowledge? He proved that connection is life itself, but to do it, he had to create a living death. And we're all still left grappling with the question, was it worth it?